What's that? Made it. I need him. I'll just get some.
Welcome again, everybody, to our Monday press conference. Bring up coach and both players for this. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock Central Time, 2 o'clock Eastern, on Saturday in Hemingway Stadium in Oxford. I do have the talent who's doing play-by-play and color. I'll give that to you if it's requested. Did uncover first trip to the state of Mississippi in 82 years. We do have a previous matchup with Ole Miss in 1911, and it was in Macon. But it's been a while since we've been to the state of Mississippi. Three different schools: Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Mississippi College are the only three teams that we played in Mississippi. So it'll be quite the trip when we go there this weekend. So I'm going to bring up Coach Cronic, and then we'll bring up Micah after that, and then Miles will go third. Micah's got to get to class, so we're going to bring him up as far as players go. So, Coach.
All right, hope everybody's doing good. It's good to finally play a game, and it's good to get a win. Like any opening game, there's a lot of unknowns, which we talked about last week. Thought especially defensively, we adjusted to a lot of things really well, played great defense. Had some big stops. Coach Taylor talks about really been working on forcing turnovers. While we didn't get that, anytime you stop somebody on fourth down, that's a turnover. Okay, so we really got 3 turnovers when you get 4. I think it was 3 fourth down stops that we got. Obviously, a huge field goal block. Offensively, when you turn the film on, it's like anything we talked about. We invented some stuff out there. Some of the players did a few times. So we got to clean some of that up. We had opportunities to separate. We shot ourselves in the foot a few times. I think when I went back and looked at it, it was an interesting game. We had, I want to say 9 possessions if you count the very last possession where we were able to run the clock out. So really 4 possessions per half. We scored on 3. We fumbled on the 1-yard line on one of them. We had a huge 40, I think it was about a 38-yard play to Dev called back because of illegal, because of 2 men in motion. And then obviously we had a drive killer with a sack. So you gotta get more out of your possessions. We're in there studying it and looking at obviously the next opponent. But I thought Carter was efficient. Okay, I thought he did. It still was his first game in a lot of ways, even though he was a starter a few years ago. It's still his first game, but I thought he played well. He took care of the ball. But we got to clean up some things. Thought the kids handled the heat pretty good. It was a really unusual day to have about an hour and a half rain delay. So I thought we came out and really responded to the rain delay and played hard. But got to clean some things up. Special teams wise, hey, the young kickers made their kicks. They punted the ball fine. We certainly don't need to fumble. Our best player out there, our most explosive player out there is got to secure that and give us a chance to return it. He did almost break one on the first one. Obviously that was a big momentum swing there. So just cleaning up some things, got to take care of the ball. Obviously, you get in a game like we're getting ready to get into this weekend, our kids will be excited. It'll be a lot of fun for them. But like we talk about all the time, you've got to be fundamentally sound, okay? You'll really get exposed if you're not fundamentally sound doing exactly what you're coached to do when you start playing SEC level talent. So when we go back and look at the last 2 years when we played Auburn, when we played Alabama, when we do what we're supposed to do, we give ourselves a chance to execute plays. And that's really big. So we can, we'll be really excited to play this game. We'll go over there and throw everything we got at them. You never know what will happen. Good things happen when you go prepared and ready to go. And like I said, our kids will play their guts out. They'll compete their tail off. And we'll learn. We'll get better because we'll have to, and if we can give ourselves a chance to scare them a little bit and make them boo a little bit maybe. You know, we'll see what we can do, but we're excited about the opportunity. It'll be, I'm sure, a great crowd there opening game. I think the weather will have already blown through by then. It may be hitting us a little bit over here by that time, but it'll already be through Mississippi, so I think it's supposed to be a beautiful day. So we'll look forward to getting on a bus and going over there and seeing what we can get accomplished. Questions for me?
Coach, last week you said the identity of this team is running the ball, stopping the run as well. And you have a guy like Michael who kind of stepped up week one here as a Bear, 20 attempts, and then Ala also had 13, so 33 attempts altogether. Kind of talking about this new kind of rushing duo you have that's started off pretty solid so far.
Yeah, I think both those guys did a good job in a lot of circumstances. Obviously, Micah's first college game, so he's just going to continue to get better. He showed his speed. We knew he had good speed and good athleticism, and to get out there and to play solid ball and have some really good runs, that was big. I still think, you know, when I look at what we did offensively, we had a lack of explosion plays. Okay, and that's a big deal for us. Well, our goal is to have 10 explosion plays a game, which is a run of 12 or more or a pass of 16 or more. And usually we get close to the 10, and even if you get 7 or 8, that makes a huge difference. We only had 3, you know, so some of that run game is breaking one more tackle and finishing some of those runs, staying on the block a little bit longer. But yeah, those two guys, I was excited to get Micah, and the best thing about him is he's got 4 years to play for us, you know, so I think he's going to have a great career here.
And another guy, Carter, went off for 10 attempts. I know some might not be because they were set, but
Right.
do you expect him to kind of be on the move a lot too as you guys go forward?
Carter's pretty athletic for that position, and so I think he made a big third down and long scramble that kept us on the field. And there's some times where we're going to let him read the end a little bit here and there and pull and keep the ball. So there'll be some design situations like that, and there'll be some that he just improvises. He made a heck of a throw when we ran the naked. He got outside. They had a 9 technique that ran straight up the field, and it's like, oh my gosh, he got around him and threw about a 40-yard just laser to tie. So you can see some of the things he can do on the move. We still got to improve when he scrambles, getting open when he scrambles. But I think he's going to have some opportunities to make some plays like that. So that's a good weapon to have.
And the offensive line, you said last week, looks improved, and you guys didn't give up any sacks as well. Kind of talk.
I think we gave up
just
one. Yep. Yep.
You guys gave up one, so kind of talk to me about what you were expecting. Is that what you saw this past weekend, or do you think there's still a lot more to do?
We got to get better. You know, there was some really good things up front, some really good things, especially when we trusted technique and we just did the right things. And there were some other times where it could have been so much better. So that's the beauty of game 1 to game 2. You get it on film going against another opponent, and hopefully you make your biggest improvement in that second game.
You mentioned wanting to get more of your guys' possessions offensively. Were you guys content going into the locker room with that lead, and what was the response? How you guys responded in the second half there?
Well, no, I wasn't content. It's good to have a lead. That beats the alternative. You know, but I think we had 25 seconds on the clock when we got the ball back. So we were going to try to just throw one down the field, see if we could get somewhere, and then be more aggressive. We never could get that to happen. But I thought the kids at halftime had a good look about them. They were excited to go back out there. Now I think halfway through the first drive is when the lightning delay hit. But the strength staff did a good job with them in the locker room. We got them up about every 10 minutes and kind of ran them around the locker room, stretched them out. It was a little cooler when we came back out, okay? So I think at that point, I mean, we shut them out. You know, we had some good, like I said, we had the fumble on the one going in, which we got to eliminate that. But I felt like we were productive, especially, and I was a little more conservative the second half. I felt like they were kind of umbrellaing us off on the back end, trying to almost double tie and Dev in certain situations. So I needed to be patient and run the ball up in there. And we finally were able to kind of get some drives going and then punch it in and kind of extend the lead a little bit.
And kind of something Shaz was asking, you know, you guys had 5 different guys run the ball. Given that's something you guys want to do really well. Is this kind of a situation where we're going to give it to whoever can do it well and go with it?
Yeah, we want to be balanced. We want to take what people are giving us. There's going to be, you know, I think we had, passes. It's probably going to be more passes, but you're trying to kind of go with what you feel like you need to do. I actually thought Parker Roble got in there at running back and made some nice runs too. So we're using him in some different ways. But it just kind of called for that during the game. I think we're going to be a little more balanced than that, but we'll kind of see how it goes.
Now looking forward to Ole Miss, Coach. Nothing new having these big name schools early in the season. Kind of talking about the importance of having those teams early so you kind of get ready for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is a game where you can learn a lot about yourself and you can make some improvements, because if you don't, you'll get smoked on that play if you don't do what you're supposed to do because of the talent level. And what I try to impress upon our guys is, look, if you're going to be a playoff team, and I've said this before, they may not have 11 guys like that on the field at the same time, but they're going to have 4 or 5. And so you've got to learn how to hold up against extremely talented kids who are really good players by doing the right things. Now, we have some guys that can really play, okay? It's not like we got a bunch of scrubs running around. So they've got to believe in themselves and trust that they are athletic enough, they have enough talent, they have enough strength, they've been working in the weight room to where if they do the right things, those things will work for them. And I think that really gets exposed in a game like this. So we'll put it on film, all right? We'll have some success when we do the right things. When we don't, it'll be a struggle. And we'll, at the very least, learn a lot. Now, hopefully, we'll give ourselves a chance to win the game. That's what I expect from our kids. I hope they expect it from themselves. But no matter what, we're going to improve in this game because you have to. And that'll help us going into the rest of the season. So when you play it, yeah, maybe it is better earlier in the season. But still, the bottom line is we're going to go be the best we can be, put our best foot forward, get our guys out there and go compete our tails off and not back down. Not back down, not get out-competed, not get intimidated, go out there and get after these guys and have fun. You should be that way in a game like this. You need to show that you deserve to be out there on the field, and I think our guys will do that.
From the Chief Seats.
Yes, sir. Mr. Cole.
Your opinion of North Alabama.
Great question. I think they're going to win some games this year. I do. That's not the same team that was 1-10 last year. I knew it wasn't the same team, so when you look at it, everybody goes, well, maybe we didn't play as well and all that. Sure, there's so many things we can get better on, but I think that team was a quality opponent. They brought in almost half their team was brand new, maybe even over half. And they have a different look about them. And hopefully, if y'all remember when we first got here, we went to the first game and nearly beat a playoff caliber opponent in Jacksonville State. We lost by 6 points, So people get better. They get better leadership. They get some new kids in. They get focused on what they're doing. And when I saw the team that I saw the other day, it wasn't any surprise to me that they were pretty good. They're going to win some games. I don't think everybody can't start measuring everything based off of, all the nonsense, all right? You go play an opponent, we were 10 points better than them on Saturday. Should we have been a little bit more? I would have liked to have separated a little bit more, but his coach is also in there saying, hey man, if we'd have done this, this, and this, we'd have had a chance to win. So every week it's that way. You're trying to go beat the team that you're getting ready to go play. So we got to prepare to play Ole Miss. All right, we got to do everything we can to put our kids in good situations to do that, and then they got to go execute a game plan. If you'll do that, you'll give yourself a great opportunity. All right, thank y'all very much.
I'm going to bring Micah up here for 5 minutes. He's got to go to class, so try to get him up in here 4 miles. Micah had 20 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown on Saturday in his first collegiate game. A lot more expected of him, I'm sure. And of yourself. So there you go, Micah Bill.
Awesome. Micah, to start kind of talking about how it felt to put on that orange for the first time, get out there and come out with a victory.
It really felt amazing, really my first college game, especially as a Bear. It just felt great to get a win on the road.
You had a pretty solid game, right? Like Coach said, you're just going to get better on from here. Anything you saw this weekend that you're like, all right, let's go and improve this, or personally for you?
Oh, definitely. I haven't watched the film yet, but I see a lot of things that I could have improved on by watching some clips. But I think week by week I'll become better. So.
Whole line of years kind of talking about those guys. Just how have you guys kind of gelled so far, and how are things in the locker room for you and those big dudes who are always up there blocking for you?
Right. I feel like I have a good relationship with my O-line. I feel like they played well. There's always things we can do better, but we do gel together pretty well. I hang out with some of them outside of the football facility, so I think we have a good thing going on.
It makes some older guys in the running back room and some younger guys how you kind of, established your role here? Obviously, just one game in, but what is the responsibilities? How's that divvied up in the running back room?
Basically, the best man is going to play. We all compete every day to get that starting job because we all want to be on the field. There's only one ball and only one running back on the field at a time, so we just come in and compete every day. It's all love, though. We love each other and we're brothers, but we like to compete. So
What's it going to be like getting to play in the SEC Stadium this weekend?
I think it's going to be amazing. They're going to treat it just like every other game, just another opponent. Just go out there and do your best, and hopefully, outcome will be in our favor.
Thanks, sir. Miles Redding, 9 tackles on Saturday, team high, 5 solo stops. He was actually the leading tackler ahead of Isaac up until that last drive for North Alabama. So, Miles Redding.
Pretty defensive game. I mean, you guys had chances to score and all that, but kind of talk about what you think you guys did defensively well in that second half to keep UNA shut out.
Well, every day in practice, Coach Taylor is big. He makes sure we put emphasis on situational football, them 3rd and short yardage, goal line, stuff like that. We take pride on stopping our scout team, our offense, actually, a lot of times in camp. So when those times come in the game, it's natural. We do our job. We all have one job, so once the time comes, it's easy for us to get those stops.
And a few 4th down stops for you guys, right? When you get that first one, then you go to that second, you get it. Is there a confidence build in that as you keep getting those 4th down stops?
Most definitely. And we have an old defense. We brought back 10 out of 11 starters. So especially when we get those stops, we start getting back in the swing of things from last year, start stacking on what we had going at the end of the season. So those are definitely confidence builders.
What do you guys have to prove, right? Against Ole Miss as this defensive unit, you guys are going to go out there. They're going to try and put up a high number, but what do you guys have to prove this week?
That we're not going to lay down. We're not going to lay down to anybody. We're going to treat them like a regular opponent. They put their pants on just like how we do. We're going to go back to the drawing board, watch this film, improve from last game, get back on the field, work harder in practice, raise the intensity a little bit more, and you know what I'm saying? Like we said, let the chips fall where they may.
Miles, when Carter was here last week, he said he was tired of going up against you guys in practice because you guys make his life so difficult. What is this defense capable of doing this year, and how do you evaluate kind of the identity of that?
Like I said, we have an older team, so it's easier for us to scheme up a lot of things. It's easier for us to disguise a lot of things, add new pressures, blitzes, coverages that our older guys can pick up easier, that will confuse offenses. So going against Carter definitely has made us better and also made him better as a quarterback.
Very good. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
As every Monday, for those of you who have not eaten yet, we do have food available over here at lunch on the side. If you have any questions or need anything Mercer football related, feel free to contact me or Brian Magnus, and we'll take care of you to the best of our abilities. So thank you for coming. I really appreciate you being here.
Daniel, what days do we have ribeyes? We'll have ribeyes whenever Jim Cole can. That's the reason I came over here.
I know. We'll have
last year.
they were out of ribeyes this morning, so I apologize.
We have a new chicken.
We're putting ribeyes orders in.
You spent a little extra. You said to go to.
We'll have ribeyes next week. I don't know, Daniel Shirley was here, but sure I would have ribeyes. Stop it.
Daniel showed up and I was like, I know he's right. Last